Have you ever delivered a project on time, within budget, and met every technical requirement only to have it labeled a failure? It happens more often than you'd think. The reason usually isn't poor planning or bad execution. It's because the wrong stakeholders weren't engaged. Whether you're managing an IT implementation, construction project, organizational change, or even starting your own business, understanding stakeholder theory can be the difference between success and failure. In this video, I'll explain stakeholder theory in simple terms, show you why it matters, and demonstrate how project managers use it every single day. Let's get started. Stakeholder theory is a management concept developed to help organizations recognize that their decisions affect many different groups of people, not just shareholders. A stakeholder is anyone who can influence your project or be affected by its outcome. Many people think stakeholders are just customers. They're not. Stakeholders include sponsors, executives, project team members, customers, suppliers, regulators, local communities, government agencies, and sometimes even the general public. Every project creates winners, losers, supporters, and critics. Your role as a project manager is to understand each of those groups and manage them appropriately. Imagine you're implementing a new payroll system. Your technical team delivers everything perfectly. Testing passes. The budget is on track. The schedule is met. From a project management perspective, everything looks successful, but HR wasn't consulted. Payroll staff weren't trained. Employees don't understand the new system. Now everyone is frustrated. Technically, the project succeeded. From a business perspective, it failed. That's why stakeholder theory matters. Projects aren't judged solely by what they deliver. They're judged by how stakeholders experience the outcome. Not every stakeholder has the same level of influence. Generally, stakeholders fall into two broad categories. Primary stakeholders are directly affected by the project. These might include customers, employees, investors, suppliers. Secondary stakeholders have less direct involvement but can still influence success. Examples include regulators, industry bodies, media, community groups, local government. Ignoring secondary stakeholders can sometimes create risks that become much larger later in the project. This is where stakeholder theory becomes practical. As project managers, we use it every day. When starting a project, one of the first activities is identifying stakeholders. Who are they? What do they care about? How much influence do they have? What level of communication do they need? One popular tool is the power interest matrix. High power, high interest stakeholders require close management. High power but low interest stakeholders should be kept satisfied. Low power, high interest stakeholders should be kept informed. And low power, low interest stakeholders simply need appropriate monitoring. Managing stakeholders isn't about keeping everyone happy. It's about giving the right people the right information at the right time. Today's projects are more complex than ever. Many organizations have remote teams spread across multiple countries. Artificial intelligence is changing how projects are delivered. Environmental and social responsibility now influence many business decisions. Cybersecurity, privacy regulations, and digital transformation all introduce new stakeholder groups that barely existed a decade ago. As project managers, we need to adapt our stakeholder engagement strategies to reflect these changes. Understanding stakeholder theory has never been more important. Let's quickly recap. Stakeholder theory teaches us that project success isn't determined solely by scope, time, and cost. Success depends on understanding the people who influence or are influenced by your project. Great project managers identify stakeholders early, communicate effectively, understand competing priorities, and build trust throughout the project lifecycle. Because at the end of the day, projects are delivered by people, for people. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like. If you're interested in project management, leadership, productivity, and practical advice gained from over 35 years of managing real-world projects, consider subscribing to the channel. Next, I'd recommend watching my video on stakeholder analysis and the power interest matrix, where I'll show you exactly how to prioritize stakeholders and create an effective engagement strategy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.